What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chronicles of the Chef. I'm Scott Hamilton. Today, we are figuring out, is it worth making baked beans from scratch, or just open a can of beans and drop it in, get going on with the day, or do we zhuzh up a can of baked beans? I don't know, but I do know in order to figure this out, we need a bean aficionado. And you know I have for that role? My man, Max. What's up, Max? How you doing?
Good.
Good. Are you ready to get some tasting some delicious baked beans?
No, let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking. All right, Max said to get cooking, so let's get making these beans. We're starting off with our from scratch. We're using canned beans. It's perfectly fine. You can do this in a saute pan and then transfer it into an oven-safe container that you can bake the beans in the oven, on the smoker, Dutch oven. All those options work. I'm going to use one single pan to make my life a little bit easier. Since we are making 3 different variations of beans, I would like to minimize some dishes. We're going to use a cast iron. Now, before it gets ripping hot and all that kind of stuff, I am actually going to throw in all of my bacon right here. I did a slice of bacon for every serving of bean that I have in the cans. There is a total of 7 servings of beans. So we got 7 slices of bacon right here. And we are just looking for this to start rendering down. I have my pan turned all the way up. I'm not necessarily looking for a slow rendering of all the fat to make super crispy, because then it's gonna sit in liquid and it's gonna lose that crisp. But I do want variations of texture, which is why I cut it up like this, where I just kind of chopped it up in all sorts of different ways and angles. I had it folded up on itself, because I wanted some big pieces, some smaller pieces. I want some variation. I know I rant and rave about the smell of roasted peppers, which is still like a top tier aroma from food, in my opinion. But is there anything better than bacon? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think that bacon is one of the best things to smell when you wake up in the morning, or when you walk into a restaurant or anywhere, you're like, oh, you got bacon going? Is it just that it's recognizable, or is it the memories? Why? Let me know. Our bacon's starting to crisp just up on the edges, which is great. We have lots of grease to work with. So we're gonna go ahead and start adding our next ingredients. I've got some really minced up onions. I did about a half an onion. Oh yeah, we're gonna get those in. I want these to kind of melt into the background. I'm gonna add onions later on to give it some texture, but these onions are about flavor and building up that base. And with that, we're gonna kind of roll with a mirepoix. So we have our onion, we have some minced up carrots, and then some sad floppy celery that I also minced up. And there's our mirepoix. If you want to do this a little bit more southern vibe, go with the Holy Trinity, where you're going to do onion, celery, and green bell pepper. Perfectly fine, would be absolutely delicious. But the biggest thing is, we don't want any of those chunks in the end product. We want these vegetables, this mirepoix, to melt in the background, but give us all of that aromatic flavor into the baked beans. So we're just gonna cook those down. And because it's like mince, I did it by hand. You can do it with a blender, and we're almost making like an Italian sofrito here, where we got all our mirepoix, we're chopping it down really, really fine, and then we're gonna cook it up in some oil to release those flavors, get those aromatics rolling, and soften up and just give us a really good base flavor. This is looking absolutely beautiful. At this point, I'm gonna throw in some High Desert Kitchen King's Peak. You can use a favorite barbecue seasoning. You can just do some celery salt, paprika, some dark chili powders. You want nice, smoky, rich flavors to be at the base of this to make it kind of that hearty feeling and to give it a little bit of smoke. So we're gonna do a little bit of King's Peak here, and we're gonna layer this in. King's Peak has all those kind of smoky notes. That's why a barbecue seasoning would work great in this. Anything kind of smoky. Or like I said, you can just throw in some celery salt, some chili powder, and some paprika and get very similar flavor profiles. Now for garlic, about a tablespoon or so of minced up garlic. Give that a mix. This is looking absolutely beautiful and delicious. Now at this point, I'm gonna add a little bit of vinegar to this. We've got a lot of fat happening. This is a very rich dish, so we wanna layer in some acid into here. So I've got about a tablespoon or so of apple cider vinegar, and that's just gonna help deglaze the pan. It's gonna add some brightness. We're kind of at the base of our dish. And then we can use mustard, whether you're using yellow mustard or a honey mustard like we're gonna use, to help brighten up the dish even further while still keeping it in that rich comforting feeling. Now I'm gonna add a secret ingredient. I love baked beans, and I think that a lot of times they can get too sweet, but I want that like umami punch. And I think a great way to get that is by using some miso paste. Full of umami, it's a little salty, it's a little nutty. There's a little just kind of funkiness to it that can ride in the background. I'm gonna use this instead of a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I think that they're gonna bring similar elements, but I think this is gonna be a little bit more impactful. We're gonna start with a tablespoon, and then also have a teaspoon of some Better Than Bouillon roasted garlic. Any kind of stock will do. We're gonna add liquid to it later, but I might as well get the bouillon working in there now. Oh no, my spoon's too big. We wanna get all that flavor though. All right, let's get that mixed in. Oh yeah. Once you've got that kind of mixed in and working, we're gonna turn the temperature down a little bit, just to a medium heat now. As I said earlier, you can use yellow mustard, but like if all you use is yellow mustard, there's a mustard world out there that you need to go and discover. I'm gonna use some honey mustard, adding a little sweetness, adding that tang, adding that little bit of heat and that spice, all those things. And we're not gonna measure out perfectly, we're gonna measure with the heart. Doesn't need to be that stressful. We don't need to stress about the exact measurements or anything like that. We're talking baked beans here that are gonna be absolutely delicious. Let's talk our beans. Cannellini beans, Great Northern beans is what I'm using. I couldn't find navy beans. Navy beans are the typical bean that you're gonna use, and it's an in-between size of the cannellini and the Great Northern. Cannellini are going to give it a little bit more nutty flavor, while the Great Northern are going to be a little sweeter and also hold this texture really, really well. But we're going to go and drop that in, and we're going to start working this in. We're going to start with a quarter cup of water, because remember, I use bouillon. If you're using stock, start with a quarter cup of stock right here in this situation. That's all you're gonna need to start with. We're probably gonna do closer to 3/4, maybe a cup of water or stock. Another quarter cup. There we go. For the sweetness of your baked bean, dealer's choice. Maple syrup, agave, honey, brown sugar, molasses, regular sugar. The choice is yours. I'm gonna use brown sugar. We all know it. Your brown sugar half the time is in a chunk like this. It's okay. You can still use it. I would switch to measuring it by weight if you're trying to get the exact measurements and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, just like, throw some in there. That was about 40 grams worth of brown sugar, maybe about a quarter of a cup or so. I'm not trying to make these like intensely sweet, but I do want sweetness floating through. Hopefully you've noticed I have not hit this with salt at all. We have lots of bacon. We have cans of beans that have sodium in it, even though I got the low sodium. With that in mind, we've used some seasoning, which has some salt in it. So I don't think we're gonna need to salt this at all. We have enough salt and things like that happening, but we can always add it at the end. Oh, oh yeah. The umami of the miso is absolutely there, but it's not like too funky. It's not too weird or anything like that. We're gonna hit it with some more King's Peak seasoning here. A little more mustard. Last quarter cup of water going in. And lastly, I'm gonna add maybe about a tablespoon or two of honey just to kind of ump the sweetness. The honey flavor is gonna fall into the background. There's enough going on that it's not gonna be like, oh, these are honey beans. These are gonna taste like baked beans, especially when we get down into baking them and all these flavors just fuse together in the oven. All right, one more taste test just to make sure that we're vibing in the right direction, Hopefully not burn my mouth off, but I will for science. So good. After all these are baked up and everything, it's gonna be so good. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and cover these with some foil. If your pan has a lid, throw the lid on. It doesn't need to be sealed perfectly. It's okay if there's some steam coming out. It's not the end of the world. This is just to help make sure that those top bits don't dry out. We want to make sure that things are looking good. A little steam escaping is going to be just fine. Now, we got liquids. They're going to splish splash. They're going to go all over the place. Make your life simple. Put your pan on another cooking sheet and you're ready to rock and roll. Any spillage, any boiling over, your oven's not getting dirty. So 325 for about an hour, we'll check on it. To see if my bean connoisseur Max can see the difference and see if these beans that are in the oven baking away are worth that little bit of effort to make them as delicious as they're going to be. Are they going to be better than some store brand baked beans that are zhuzhed up, or then a more premium just can open up and ready to go. To help us with that, I have my mini crock pot. I have like the beautiful 3-set thing happening. And for that, we're just going to throw these beans right in and let them start heating up right now. So that way they're nice and warm, but I'm not messing with them. I'm not cooking them. Because as soon as I get them into a stove, no one will be messing around. You can't not do that, like obviously. And these are just original and original, okay? We're gonna dump those right in. And like I said, I'm doing nothing to these guys right here, except for making sure that all the beans make it into our little crock pot. We're good. Not as good as those though. All right, we'll get this on our little wonderful device here, and we'll get that turned on. Well, we've got our premium beans warming up in our crock pot and our homemade from scratch beans. We got a lot of air quotes happening. But while we've got our beans in the oven, our other beans are warming up in the crock pot. Let's get working on zhuzhing up our store brand simple baked beans here. Now, we're just gonna add a few simple things. I'm gonna add bacon because I already got bacon to do the big one. If you don't have bacon, you could do Spam, you could do smoked sausage, you can do all sorts of other things other than bacon to add a little bit more umami, a little bit more meatiness to it. I never feel like there's enough bacon in the canned version anyway. I get it, cost saving, blah, blah, blah. But also whenever they do have the bacon in it, it's always just like really chewy and not as delicious as it should be. Same thing that I did with my other bacon. I did threw a little chop, chop, chop. And again, this is 3.5 servings of bacon. So I did 4 slices of bacon. We'll drop that right in. And we're gonna do a similar kind of process that we did before. We're looking to render down as much of that fat as we can. So whatever's left is a little bit more crispy, a little bit more, the chew is a lot easier, and the meat, it has a nice texture to it. Because we're not gonna cook these for as long. We gotta do all the cooking process at the beginning. Just to kind of help with the spraying. If you have like a screen mesh, that's a great thing to use. This will just help keep some of that splattering from getting everywhere. I'm gonna strain it because ooh-wee, is that a lot of fat. There we go. Are we gonna strain all of it? No. Now to this, our chopped up onion, the same size, kind of a small dice that we're gonna add to the end of our other bacon. Let's throw that in there. Give that a nice little stir. Onions are gonna start releasing some nice flavor. About a tablespoon of garlic. There we go. Now I typically find these sweet enough, so I'm not gonna add sweetness, but I am gonna add some mustard. We're gonna add some honey mustard on this one because I want to match the flavor that I did on the other one. Just see if there's a difference for the Maxman in our taste testing. Lastly, we're gonna do a little bit of King's Peak. And if you don't wanna use mustard, barbecue sauce would work great. Some chopped jalapenos, similar thing. If you want to make it a little bit more spicy, all those things would be great options. All right, let's open these beans. Get those guys in there. I will give this a little rinse with some water, probably maybe 2 tablespoons. And I'll give it a little swirly swirl and drop it right in there. Since I added all those other ingredients, we're gonna need a little bit more liquid, but that's gonna help pull things off the bottom of the pan, get those flavors mixing in together. And now you're just looking to heat it through. You don't need to do anything crazy. You can throw this right here, throw it into a crock pot, take it to a friend's house, to the barbecue, whatever you wanna do. Those are pretty good. Now we can grab our crock pots here, drop these in. We'll keep these nice and warm on our tray. Let's take a look-sees. Ooh, look at that. Oh yeah, absolutely delicious. This, I think, is the perfect kind of sauce and everything. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add a little bit more water, but I'm also gonna add my onions. So we got that whole chunky bit of onions in here. Because I'm adding those onions, I'm gonna add another about 1/4 cup. So we're at 1 cup of water for 2 cans of beans. That is looking beautiful. Oven still set to 325. I'm gonna throw this back in for another, I don't know, 10-ish minutes. Kind of let those onions start to soften up a little bit. They'll still have good texture. They'll still have good flavor. And then we'll get to tasting. All right, check these beans out. Looking so good. Oh, yeah. All right, these beans are looking beautiful. I love the onion that they're nice and big, but they're slightly translucent, which means that they've cooked down some. They're still gonna have crunch and good flavor, but it's not gonna taste like a raw onion. Perfect. Let's load up our mini crock pot here. Now it's time to bring in Max and see, is it worth all the effort to make from scratch baked beans, to zhuzh it up, or to just open a can? Let's go. All right, let's get to our taste testing. All right, which one do you want to start out with? You start with this one?
This one.
This one. Ooh, the middle choice. Okay, go ahead and give that a try. I'm gonna try it too. That's pretty good.
I'm guessing this one is this one.
Oh, you think so? Okay, so you think the middle one is this guy. Okay, now which one do you want to try? You gonna try this guy? Okay. Spoon it up, buddy.
And that one is definitely this one.
You definitely, and you think that this one? Okay, let's try this one.
You try it first. You try it.
You want me to try it first? Are you a little nervous about it?
Yeah.
So we're all clear. You think this one, which is this guy, homemade. This one, or this guy, zhuzhed up. This one is just normal, just right out of the can. That's what you think?
Mm-hmm.
Before I tell you if you're right or wrong, now I want you to tell me which one you like the best. Straight out of the can is what you thought it was the best one. Okay, which one was the second best? Zhuzhed up can. And which one was your third favorite?
I didn't have a third favorite. That one was the worst.
This one was the worst? You didn't like this one? Oh man, he doesn't like the homemade. I think the homemade is delicious.
And that one is actually homemade.
Yeah, this is the homemade one.
What?
Yeah. Straight out of the can's your favorite? Is it because it's extra sweet? That's the one that you like the most? Well, there you have it. If you're feeding a 6-year-old, you can just open a can, throw it in, and it's gonna be delightful. But if you want to zhuzh it up, have some fun, I think this recipe, the homemade, is the way to go. So good. What did you not like about this one?
The taste.
What about the taste?
It's too sour.
There's nothing sour about it. You downed that.
Yeah, I haven't had breakfast.
Oh, well then, yeah. What do you think of this one?
I like it.
Do you like it better than the canned?
No, I like it better than homemade.
You like it better than homemade? Why don't you like the homemade?
I just don't like the taste.
All right. Well, that's fair. Thank you so much for all your help being a bean aficionado for me. Maybe I shouldn't let a 6-year-old hurt my ego, but I wasn't expecting him to like the can the best, but it also isn't a big surprise. I think it's absolutely worth making the beans from scratch. Super simple, easy to do. Make them ahead. It's delicious, in my opinion. In a pinch, zhuzh up that can. Store brand, premium brand, doesn't matter. A little zhuzhing up of it is going to make it absolutely fire. If you like these kinds of videos where I'm elevating dishes but keeping it nice and simple, make sure you like, subscribe, and do all those fun things so you can catch my videos that I'm posting weekly. We'll see you next time.